Hello there, my name is Asleon, and this is... No, I'm not gonna restarting. Hello there, my name is Asleon, and today I am going to be building not Garmin, Bennett. um, I don't have a specific team for Benny because, I mean, he's a support. I don't run him as a DPS at all. Is Benny dead? One second, Benny must be dead or something. Oh no. Let's get you healed up, Benny. I should have pulled him out so I could see if he was dead. Okay. Alright, this is my current Auron setup, but that's gonna go away for now, because we're gonna... Okay, he hasn't been revived yet. Hello, statue. Please revive Bennett. Ah. Is he revived? Okay. Bennett should be alive. I don't see anyone. Oh, there he is. Not dead. That is the... That's great. Bennett just being dead.
I won't hold you back.
Okay. There we go. Now! Oh, poor Benny. Unlucky Benny. He is going to be my first level 90 character because I feel like it's just going to be good for support capabilities with a little bit of higher attack. I didn't say it was going to boost it all that much. I should have looked it up, but I didn't. But he's going to be my first level 90. And then after I started leveling him, I realized I forgot it's had a good aura on. So he's going to be half level for now. But because the only people I've done how I built for before are DPSs. My brain's like, how exactly do we want to do this? I really should have thought of that beforehand, but I'm just gonna go right into it. First off, we got teams for Bennett. Bennett is good with just about any team. If we go over here, you can see him. He's in my Rainbow Razor team. And my Bennett is C6, which really helps with this, because that'll infuse Razor Sword with Pyro, while he's got the Electro, Hydra, and Dendero all going at the same time, so the reactions are crazy on that team. This is just the family. Lady's team has Bennett, because he's one of... I'm sure you already know he's one of the best supports ever. Ryansley surprisingly doesn't, but I guess that's because I wanted Kazuha there to help with additional buffing and grouping instead of Bennett. Because Bennett can't group. That's the one thing he can't do. It's just a team of my favorite characters. Canari's team doesn't have Bennett, but that's because I think I just didn't want Bennett in the team. Wanderer's team does. Goming's team does. Kenichi's team could have him. I just don't. Did I have any other... No, I didn't have any other teams. Long story short, Bennett, highly versatile character. I don't recommend him too much for characters that want to move around a lot, because his circle does stay in one spot. But overall, he works for just about every character, except if I guess you're running a character that does defense, so he gives an attack bonus. And if they're on defense, it wouldn't be as effective. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's an attack buff. So, and it's buff based off his attack at the very least. But overall, you can put Bennett in just about any team, and he will be brilliant for it. He is extra good for Pyro-related teams. Next, let me see. I'm trying to think how I would do a showcase for him. Probably just do a showcase.
This had better be important.
The dragon over here. Wanderer fighting on his own, and then with Bennett to see his buffing capabilities. So yeah, I think this will be our little team for this episode. Mostly because Wanderer is no shrine. Kenichi might have clipped him yet by now. I don't know. Wanderer's probably still my strongest. Now let me think. That's a general idea for his teams. I know I didn't distinctly show anything, but it's literally basically anything that you don't move around too much. Which is one of the reasons I don't have him too much at Kenichi, is because Kenichi does swing around a lot. But I don't think I actually need to go anywhere. But we'll pull up Bennett.
Oh, ow!
Knish will
that
sweep
come
into
from?
his circle a lot, and his buff doesn't go down the second they exit the circle, so Bennett would still probably work really well for him. In other words, Bennett will work with just about anybody. But, weapon-wise, Aquila Favonius. Not my favorite for him because of the sub-step, but it is the sword I have that will give him the highest attack stat. Because if you don't know, Bennett's buff is based off his base attack, which is reliant on his level and his weapon. And giving him artifacts doesn't work. I think everyone has thought that it was the artifacts at some point. No, you can't just stack attack. It's very sad. It's probably for the best, given he's already considered one of the best ones. Oh, this one gives an additional attack increase. I don't think that affects his buff. But I have this on him because it's my sword with the highest base attack. I've heard it's the sword with the highest base attack, but I think Al-Haytham's sword also has the same base attack, and it has a better subset. I think it was, but I could be wrong about that. So, Bennett, I like the Aquila Favonius on him because of the high base attack. I would just give him the highest sword you have with the highest base attack. I don't know which ones those are. These are exactly the same. I would give him probably the Sapwood Blade next, because there's about 100 attack here. But the ER is nice because you want his ult up as much as possible. And we don't care for the physical damage bonus. I don't know why Traveler has this sword. The physical damage bonus on Bennett. It really does not benefit him. That one would probably end up around B. So again, I would suggest this one. If I recall correctly, it is a craftable weapon. I can check that in just a second. But again, I would just recommend the sword that you have that has the highest base attack. And like an ER substat would be the best. So let me check if this is craftable. Blacksmith. I'm gonna do it over here. But if you can craft the Sapwood Blade, I do not remember how you get it. I recommend putting him on the Sapwood Blade. It seems to be the highest 4-star option with a good attack and good substats. I do not remember what I originally had my Bennett on. Yeah, it's craftable. I don't remember what Benny had. Because he's had this for a while, but I haven't had this for a while. I know it took me a while, because I actually rolled this in my ult before I rolled it in this account. He was probably on the Sapwood Blade up until I got this one and leveled it to 90. But that's basically all there is to consider for his weapon, is its base attack and how it'll benefit his... Well, at least that's all I considered for it. Now, of course, if you're building him a DPS, you might want to do it slightly differently. I don't look at things until I'm ready to build a character. Possibly this one, because it does give opponents affected by Pyro additional damage. And I tend to end up with a lot of them that I don't use. Or you could give him this one. This one's just a nice one. If it's leveled. And then this one is for not him. But I'd probably give him one of these two if I was building him DPS, or a 5-star weapon that looked nicer. I'm just gonna go over the weapon stuff I have. For artifacts, I typically would just put him on Noblesse with, I would stack as much crit rate, crit damage, and ER. I would personally prioritize the ER. You know, Sands being ER, Pyro, damage bonus, or HP. You see I have an HP because I want him to heal more. His healing is based off his HP. And then this is crit rate, which, there you go. So yeah, this could be Pyro damage bonus or HP, whichever you prefer. The recommended faces, man, the majority of people put him on HP. I wonder if this is the poor saps who still haven't realized. It took me forever. Huh. I guess a lot of people built him mostly to do additional healing. I like to have a little bit of additional damage, and you can see by the fact I didn't put him on a healing goblet or an HP goblet. I do have him in crit rate, which is his one-off piece. I don't have him on two-off pieces. Good. That happens to me sometimes, where they just end up on two-off pieces, and I'm like, shoot. Gotta change that now. But, yeah, I would say for his artifacts, I would mostly just suggest Noblesse. I don't know what they... Oh, Emblem. Emblem's not a bad option either. I like Noblesse because I'm using no force increases all party members by 20, and he runs off his burst, and it increases burst damage. What does Emblem do again? I always forget. Feasible burst damage at 25, and energy recharged, maximum 7 burst. So basically, the switches have his burst doing more damage. Again, I prefer Noblesse. Now, if you wanted to build a DPS Bennett would be running off of his E and pyro damage. So I would probably put him on a 2-piece Crimson, and I think there's another one that does pyro damage, so it's probably 2-piece Crimson, 2-piece Vlad, or whatever else has. I think this one has it. 18% attack damage bonus. That way you can stack more attack on him, along with giving him the pyro damage bonus. And like this would basically be the same, except this would be attack percent, pyro damage bonus, crit rate, crit damage, whichever you need. I never went over his stats.
Ow!
My bad. We'll go back and do that now. Because I can't do math quickly. We've got 1800 attack, 790. I don't care too much about that. HP is important to him because again he gets his healing multiplier off of that.
Benny's adventure team, assemble!
24,418. If I can say numbers. We can do that. EM is 91. I don't care for his EM stat that much. I would say if you wanted your Ben to do more damage, you would give him more crit rate than I have on him. But like I said, I cared less about his crit rate, crit damage, a bit more about him having a whole lot of ER, so his burst could be up. Him having more crit rate, crit damage isn't a detriment though. Big damage for his burst is nice. We just finished that. If I can try to get in a line here. So we'll go over his consonants. Like I said, my Bennett is C6. Some people don't like C6 in him, because as far as I can tell, it's just the older characters. I don't remember if people said it messed up Ayato or not. I know people said that it all messed up, like, Ayata, who else? Kaching. I cannot remember who people said it messed up. Now, if you're running a physical Razor, it will screw him over. If you're running Eula, it'll screw her over. Like, both of them cannot run with a C6 Bennett, because he will infuse their physical damage with pyro damage, and you will not be getting any physical bonuses. So if you're trying to run Bennett with any team that you don't want him to be infused, and the character's... what is it? Talent does not tell you that it cannot be overridden, Bennett will probably infuse it with pyro and mess up your entire thing. Don't C6 your Bennett if you want to do that. But if not, I recommend C6ing your Bennett, because people always talk about the Sword, Claymore, and Polearm user. Also, if your character is a bow or a catalyst you want to run him with, Bennett does not affect them at all. It makes sense. It's always talking about the fact that it's infused with pyro. Nobody talks about the fact... I guess it's also... the pyro damage bonus is also limited to Sword, Claymore, and Polearm users, so... I guess it's only relevant to them. Sucks for poor Yoimiya and... Yanfei. Yanfei doesn't get her nice little 15% pyro damage bonus, which is a big deal. It's 15% pyro damage bonus. But yeah, it's just as if it's Sword, Claymore, and Polearm, because it doesn't have a space thing. Never looked at it before. Now I know, now you know. But, infused with pyro, as long as you don't mind them being infused with pyro, or they will have something that overrides it. Cynos will override it, so if you want to run him with Cyno, that's cool. It ain't gonna affect him. Kenichi doesn't have a problem with that either. And frankly, if you can put the Rose Jangling in the thing first and have her get the buffs from it, nice. Because she'll get her buff. His other ones, his scene one is brilliant. Fantastic Voyage attacking increase no longer has an HP restriction. If you didn't know, when he does Salt, which is Fantastic Voyage, the character has to be 70% HP or higher for them to receive the attack buff. With the C1, attacking no longer has an HP restriction. And gains an additional 20% of Bennett's base attack, so basically it becomes stronger. Bennett's speed falls below 70, his ER increases. Level increase, we all know how that works. Unless you do, then you don't. 3 and 4 are always a level increase to the E or the alt. If it is a character that came out before Fontaine. If they came out after, they could have their base attack, which I really wish was a thing when Wanderer. Wanderer could benefit from that so much, despite the fact they don't have construct. But anyway, normal attack as a second. Using normal attack as a second attack if Pastor's Overload charge level 1 will be formed as a follow-up attack. This additional attack does 135. So I think that's buffing part of his E. Not that I use his E to get him energy, and that's basically it. Now, for his talents and how they work. You can see here that I only ever upgraded his ult, because I didn't care to upgrade anything else, because Bennett doesn't need you to upgrade anything else for him to work really well. Like you see, his ult, if your character falls below 70, the health can usually regenerate based on Bennett's max HP, and if there's higher, they will gain an attack bonus based on Bennett's attack, which this does mean he's less useful for defense teams. The few defense teams out there. Ito and... Is Ito the only main? Ito and Noelle. I think Ningguang will also runs off for defense. Besides mostly every Geo character but Navia. As far as I know, everyone else runs off their defense. Navia runs off attack. But again, just level his ult. That's all that really matters. This one is reduces cooldown. These are always good. I've yet to see one that isn't. This one is just decreased cooldown for that, and then his other one is send them on expeditions. As you can see, I haven't leveled this at all, but basically he performs a strike. You can hold it. I never hold it. I just tap it and get out of there so he can get his energy. That's it. And his base, I never use his base attack because, if you had him built as a DPS, you would want to level his base E and ult. But like I said, I just have him built as a support. If you want to look at the recommended, it goes alt E base, which what I would probably also recommend is your alt or even your base, because you're going to use your E to try to get more energy. So you could do a bit more damage with that, and his ult is where you're getting your biggest buff. Now, if you were playing him as a DPS, let me think. If you wanted to run him as a DPS, what would you level first? You would also probably want to C6 Bennett if you wanted to run him as a DPS, that way he can infuse himself with Pyro. Honestly, probably still his ult, because that will still buff his own attacks the most. Then I would probably go for... I say not a C6 Bennett, you do his E, but if you had C6 Bennett, I'd say do his base first. But, that's a bunch of stuff I've never thought about before, because I've never wanted to build my Bennett as a DPS. I might do that someday, but we'll see. But that's a basic overview of Bennett. So, like I said, for the showcase, we'll just have, Wanderer. Let's be clear here, you don't die. We're gonna have Wanderer beat up his, former colleague who no longer remembers him again. I could write third player on the dive, but I'm gonna do my best. to try to make sure that doesn't happen.
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then, amuse me.
If
Surrender
I can
is
see
a
it
valid
is
option. I promise I'll be gentle.
this is why we need Link. Wander. But you haven't done a single bit of damage.
Not bad. That's far enough. Not bad. You've got a trick or two.
But let's not what the hell.
The wind rises.
Okay, Wander. Let's be clear, you don't die to this thing,
All
okay?
you do is run.
I'll probably try to put up the biggest number I can. Oh, one. There we go.
Futile.
Apologies for my poor gaming skills. Les Wanderer probably would have survived that without needing a healer. Heals do better with Bennett, that's for sure. I'll try to mark where the largest number is. I'm not very good at finding that one.
How amusing.
But
The price.
no! I can't even kill him! Well, Bennett will finish the fight.
Adventure.
If we can, without dying. But this is what we get for not bringing Layla.
Let's light it up.
You're cut above.
On this episode of Let's Showcase How Good I Am at Playing Games, we have Wanderer dying. Again. Anyway, I think that'll work more or less. Also, I didn't even realize he didn't have his ult up. So, hopefully, we will be able to kill him before he kills us this time. Let's just get this up here. So, that's probably going to be something you find, is that just, I very much want my characters being strong because yeah, I know that. I know I can't collect anything. I can't,
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then,
sometimes technical
surrender is a valid option.
Great.
I promise I'll be gentle.
Okay, so to start off, I didn't get hit around.
Guess I should take you more seriously.
Bonus!
Let's light it up.
Bonus points. Wasn't pushed around by
Swarm Fury.
Nice. Chrissy's not getting the buff well. Bennett's down. Oh, maybe I could have just done this in one round. Whatever. I recommend giving your Bennett a
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Sorry, Bennett.
Let's light it up. I'm going in.
Not your fault.
You're dead.
But yeah, I'll try to make sure you can see which the highest damage points. Of course, if you watch the video, you can probably see the difference between which ones I don't die. Good job, didn't die this time. Hey, at least we know that Bennett does his job as a healer. Oh, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I see you like and subscribe. I will be having more how I built videos coming out. Of course, if you're not interested in the character, you probably won't watch it, which is perfectly fine. But if there is a character you want to see how I built, or how I would possibly build them, I haven't built all my characters yet, then leave a comment on who you might like to see me do, or review how I've done. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you watch more of my content. Thank you.